Alrighty. What's going on, team? What's going on? Um, just want to give my recap for today. Today is Tuesday, September 16th. I did not take a trade yesterday because I did miss the move, unfortunately, and all our key levels did get taken out. So, um, going over yesterday, again, all our key levels kind of got taken out here, and yeah, and again, um, wasn't really any kind of key levels to take a trade from within that 7 to 9 kind of time frame. Um, so coming into market opening, I'm on the 1 hour. I'm looking to see what price is doing. Um, so I didn't mark this as a market structure shift, but technically it is a breaker structure. I just marked it as a market structure shift because this is where we started displacing up again. So I'm seeing that our POIs kind of start from here all the way to here at the time. So on the 5 minute London OPEC, we just rip, right? Not until 7:30 we start making some moves down. And what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for a high time frame POI. What's the POI? This 30-minute gap right here. This 30-minute fair value gap, right? And ideally, I'm on the 5 minute. I'm looking to see whether we take out London lows. I wanted to see London lows get taken out just because would have been extra confirmation. Like I said on Sunday, it would have been nice to get those lows taken out. But we actually didn't. We displaced up. We we had a market structure shift, so now the 5 minute order flow is currently bullish, right? And we had a couple POIs. Um, we did have this breaker block here because we had a market structure shift there. So ideally, sellers, if you wanted to go down lower, this is where sellers would take control. Over here, we did have this inversion fair value gap. We did have this fair value gap here, and we also had this order block, which was down here. So Um, but ideally, I didn't want to see the sell side get taken out before displacing up, as that would have probably fueled the move to, to new highs, or not new highs, but like, past this point here. But with that, I our confluences were there. Okay, we did get a market structure shift plus an inversion, which is already the entry confirmation. Now we're just waiting for a retap into those, which we did get here, which I will go in the 1 minute, and I will tell you guys that we did get that retracement back into this inversion, but again, we couldn't really. Price was still like kind of chopping all the way down. Oh, sorry, as we didn't get a retrace into this fair value gap, nor breaking it. So I'm like, okay. Um, So I'm waiting for this fair value gap to hit because what normally happens is the 5 minute still doesn't close below here, but the 5 minute close below this inversion, sorry, but the 5 minute taps into this fair value gap, right, and then kind of continues on that 5 minute structure. But again, we did close below the inversion, and my last resort was this fair value gap and this order block. As this breaker block has now been passed and broken below on the 5 minute, so we can get rid of that. This inversion fair value gap did not hold as we closed below on the 5 minute. As you can see, we closed below that strong. This fair value gap here, and I did get um, I did enter off a 1 minute breaker structure, which I am not doing again, just because I don't think that running through all those zones, this would be like kind of like the bottom tick before kind of continuation, which I shouldn't be thinking like that. So again, I should just be sticking to what I know, which is when we inverse a gap, that's when bullet buys are showing intent, right? Which is what we got actually on this candle break here. On this candle break here, we did inverse this 1 minute gap, and therefore price was able to continue on the trend to take out the previous highs. So On the 5 minute, we did close below this Fair Valley gap as well. But again, I was kind of I didn't keep a track of the 5 minute, and I entered off a 1 minute breaker structure. So now this kind of entry point is invalidated because again we broke 5 minute structure back down and closing into this order block here. So one thing I should have definitely known is again this isn't um, this red line here isn't enough kind of um, isn't enough kind of confirmation. You know, there wasn't any displacement, and plus we didn't really disrespect any bearish kind of areas, which at the time we did have this order block here, which price came tapped into it. We broke one in a structure, but again we tapped into this kind of bearish zone here, or this bearish kind of move down here, which price was able to displace even further down. So if I wanted to really get into buys, my entry should have been here because we had this huge move up. Um, yeah, we had this huge move up again, and price came down and chopped all the way through it. But again, we inversed this gap here with some momentum, and therefore stops should have been down here and targeting the previous highs or 1 to 2 here. So again, even entering off this kind of wick here, and that would have been fine, just because again our stops would have been safe below these lows. Oh, sorry. Below these lows down here, the London lows, and we could have just targeted previous highs here, which it would have been a 1 to 4, um, or even a 1 to 2. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. So yeah, I'd say stick to what I know. I tried something new. I try to kind of see that hey, we should have enough liquidity now from this breaking structure to continue on the trend. But again, all this 1 minute breaking structure was to fill in this order block here, which price displaced from it. And this is even confirmation because do you see how small this gap is and price still respected and displaced even further. So I do think that I did get lucky today, just because we had equal lows down here, and then we made like a almost like a we try to make a lower low. We really tried, but again, this is where buyers really stepped in. This is where we displaced from. So my prediction for this trade was this order block here. Well, technically this is the order block, so we can kind of just put this here because this is the last sell candle before buyers pushed up. And we did have this 30-minute Fair Valley gap here, and we also had again, yeah, this 5 minute order block, and we also had that market structure shift. So therefore, this low should be protected. So that's why I didn't really get out the trade when we didn't hold when we closed below this 5 minute gap. Even though it's a bad sign, again I did have the protection from this high time frame POI and this order block, which price was able to displace from. Here, which price was able to displace from, but not enough. But again, we did have that market structure shift, and this was our protected low, which is where we put our stops and targeting a 1 to 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. We didn't get that. Um, we didn't get that 1 to 2. We more got like a 1 to 1 somewhere like around here. I closed out around here somewhere. Just because we did have a small 5 minute gap here, which price wasn't able to um, you know, price wasn't able to hold off this 5 minute gap in confluence with the 1 hour not closing above these highs, making it a breaker structure. So ideally, once I saw that price didn't close above it, I should have just got out the trade. So that's something to note next time. is that once price closes above, these 5 minute POIs don't really mean much because again, once we don't close above these highs, what does it make? What does it make these lows? It makes these lows unprotected, right? Because this low failed to put in a new high. So, this could be a liquidity spot for a price to come out and take before, starting the real move. So overall, I'm happy with the result. Actually, I do feel like even though I made a couple mistakes and the market didn't really punish me for it, so I'm really happy with how this trade turned out. Um, Again, we had the right confluences, but trying different executions, and again, the one execution that always kind of works is always the invalidating, um, invalidating kind of, for bullish, we should be invalidating bearish POIs, especially the fair value gaps. So, yeah, so I'm definitely gonna stick to that now on, and again, lucky with today. Definitely got lucky, and I took my profits. Um, but yeah, I do think that I should have got taken out at these lows just because our fair value gap, which is the main POI, didn't hold. Instead, this order block did, which is fine, which is okay. But again, we had a high time frame POI with no sweep, but a displacement. We broke structure. And again, with those were the POIs that were left: the inversion, the fair value gap, the order block, the even breaker block here. But again, I would definitely would have had more confidence in this trade if we took out these London lows. So um, yeah, I guess it's something to look out for next time. But I'm happy with today. Come back in tomorrow with a winning attitude, and hopefully, we get a cleaner setup next time. Again, as we fail to displace, show any real displacement before this move. So, uh, yeah, I'd say for the mistakes today, I didn't get, punished for it. So, yeah, happy with the results. Stops were below these protected lows, not because we sweat, but because we broke structure. So this low now means something. And take profit was a 1 to 2. But um, again, I should have closed once we saw that we didn't close above these highs up here, which is this line right here. As we failed to kind of push through it all the way, and we didn't close above. Therefore, sellers kind of taking control here. So, um, with that in mind, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'm off to bed now. Um, and I will see you guys tomorrow.